Welcome back. Focus on Amazon this morning, reporting earnings after the bell tonight. Investors are waiting to see what kind of growth the company's web services division will contribute to the overall bottom line. The effects of new shipping methods that could weigh on profit. Joining us right now is the CEO of Applico, Alex Moazed. Alex, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Give us a sort of a backdrop in terms of tech right now and where the growth comes from.
I mean, you nailed it on the head. These large tech monopolies are considered growth companies, trillion-dollar growth companies, but still growth companies nonetheless. Amazon is on fire. Microsoft beat earnings on earnings and revenue yesterday, but still their stock is down because the investors didn't see enough growth, particularly with Azure, as they wanted to see. So all of these companies are evaluated from a growth perspective. Amazon probably being my top pick amongst all of the big tech stocks that are out there right now.
Amazon's your top pick.
They're on fire right now. They just have so many new business initiatives, in addition to just e-commerce, which they do about $277 billion in total throughput for 2018, growing at, say, 20% every quarter. And still, consumer retail in the United States is $2.5 trillion. There's so much growth just in their core business, let alone the other new businesses that they're spinning up quite successfully.
Can Amazon get away with anything, though? Because there's been a real spotlight on them selling, say, expired food. Today, the Journal reports that they offer a steady stream of clothing from dozens of Bangladeshi factories that are shunned by other leading retailers. They behave like they can't be touched, but there's certainly a greater spotlight on their behavior.
It's a great point. So their real kind of vulnerability from, say, a regulatory standpoint is how do they treat their sellers. The FTC just recently is now investigating how is Amazon treating sellers on the marketplace. Ms. Vestager at the EU, who heads up their regulation, is also looking at this. I think the one actual vulnerability that Amazon has is how do they treat their sellers? Do they take advantage of them? Because they absolutely are a monopoly when you look at where you can sell products online as a third-party seller.
That was a similar criticism that Walmart faced for years and years, because it would force all the people who sold to Walmart to just cut the prices.
Yep.
Go ahead, James. Sorry.
Well, I was going to ask about the web services. This has been a very high margin business for them. It's also, I think, pretty high margin for Microsoft, for Google. Services companies usually aren't high margin businesses, and yet they all seem to be getting margins like software or intellectual property kind of businesses. Do they each have their own unique IP, or how can this be such a great business for all of them?
It's a great question. Basically, it's a commodity storage product when you think about it. The platform network effect dynamic is that they have these apps that third-party developers are making that you can then use if you are a customer of AWS or Azure. And interestingly enough, if you look at the top 3 cloud storage players, Amazon 1, Microsoft 2, Google 3, and you look at how many third-party apps they have in their app stores, it literally ranks the same way. Amazon has the most, Microsoft has the second most, Google the third most.
Okay. So it's a byproduct of their related business.
It gives them some defensibility that helps on the margin, or that kind of aspect of it.
You mentioned that you were just in Vienna. What perspectives did you hear there that viewers would be interested in here toward that?
I think in Europe, lots of people are talking about Libra. I was also in Geneva right before Vienna, and so there's a lot of chatter going on, well, here, obviously, and there about what's going to happen with this. Will it be allowed? What could that mean for the EU, and all these kinds of repercussions, for sure.
Big tech facing the possible reckoning with executives like Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg under scrutiny. What's your take in terms of where this is going, in terms of you've got testifying about election interference, honest advertising, of course, breaches in privacy. What kind of regulation changes might you expect?
Net, I am very positive on Zuckerberg, and especially the stance that he's taking. I don't think Congress gives the American people enough respect or credit for their ability to think for themselves. I think, on the Libra topic, it's going to be a positive thing for America to innovate. You look at what Congress is beating Zuckerberg up on. It's actually kind of anti-American, right? It's saying, well, we don't want you to innovate, particularly when your product will be used abroad, which will only help America's influence abroad, A. B, we want you to regulate more aggressively, basically free speech on your platform called Facebook. it just doesn't really resonate with, I think, our value system and what we stand for.
So Libra could be kind of a subversive force where overseas regimes are not free like ours.
China understands the power in their tech companies unlike anyone else, much better than the United States. Just look at what's happened with the NBA and Tencent. They are able to wield their soft power through their tech companies abroad. Where is Libra really going to catch on? Maybe somewhat in the U.S., but really abroad, where Zuckerberg is saying we can help the billion people unbanked, where a lot of these people, not in the United States. So why wouldn't we want to do that?
And why wouldn't we as a nation want to promote that?
Alex, thank you. Great to see you.
Likewise.
Alex Moazed joining us there.